Right, hi everyone. We're at FormNext. As you can probably tell, I am absolutely knackered at this point. This is like the last, we got 30 minutes left of the show. I wanted to get one of you guys at your weakest to try and eke out some tidbits of information that maybe are exclusive to the channel, but let's see how tight-lipped you are. We'll see how your media training's going. So this is Prusa. Who are you and what do you do?
So I'm Tommy. I'm the community manager, just general wellness of the community. So I'm the guy on Reddit and Facebook and the Discord, and wherever you guys are, that's where I am.
Fantastic. Well, that's where we tend to hang out, is on the internet or in our own little bubbles. So it's been a hell of a show for you guys. Like every booth I've been to, especially in the consumer space, has certainly had interest around, but you have had crowds for 4 days solid. How does that feel?
It was exciting. The first day was a bit tough as everyone was expecting the index to be ready. We only revealed it on the second day, yeah. So it was quite frustrating to tell people there's something hidden under the blanket, but they can't take a look yet. But luckily it's been revealed now. Index is out. Excitement is way better than we were even expecting. So
I think that's good. Like, and you're right. Like you did the same thing last year with the Core 1 reveal. Like a whole day we were sat there like watching this, and we knew something was under it. We knew people would be excited. And again, this year, same thing, just super excitement. And I think that's really good. There have been other brands who I think maybe shot their load too early, and by the time it's revealed, we already know what it is. But you guys have played close to your chest. And again, the buzz that's been here, it's super fast, it's large. You've now got the Core 1, the Core 1L, we've got the Index, and I think that really rounds it out. And then you've just got beautiful things like this as well.
A signature oak. I think this is the first printer of its kind, as I would consider it the first girlfriend/wife approved printer.
100%. And I've said this a lot, like I grew up in the 80s, so I remember what it was like. Kids now don't know. You used to have a hi-fi cabinet with like radio in, and this is the modern version of that, but 100% sexier.
But any 3D printing enthusiast knows the feeling of just sitting there and being glued and staring at the 3D printer.
Oh yeah.
So this basically still is a television, as you can just sit and watch it.
No, exactly that. And these are actually available to buy as well. You can purchase this. So that's a Core 1 in there, isn't it? Not an L.
Yeah, it's a Core 1, the regular version. So we decided to go for this super special signature look. So it's called the Signature Oak.
Yep.
So each of these is engraved as well, signed by Joseph. So you can see this is number 48 of 250. So there's only 250 of these which will be made. And
he's built every one himself?
Sadly not. He had to have a few people helping with the screws. No, it's done in collaboration with a Czech company that is cutting the oak and everything. So they are outstanding woodworkers, top-notch quality of it. All the pieces come together beautifully. You have these cabinets on the side, clicking for your tools, your spools, everything just gives it this clean, polished look and feel. So
it's a thing of beauty. And I think, you know, when you kind of merge 3D printing, I mean, I like to merge 3D printing and art anyway by printing arty things on a 3D printer, but when you make a 3D printer that looks like art, absolutely just incredible. It's really good. So I feel like we've jumped right into sort of the middle to the end. So what have you revealed for those people who are new to it? Everybody knows, but let's just do the thing. What's new for you, and what should people be excited about running up to FormNext and now at FormNext?
So let's start with the number one, the highlight, the what thing everyone wants to know about, and that's of course the index.
Yeah.
So the index itself is a new method of changing the nozzles on the printer, and this nozzle change includes the filament as well. So you can print with any combination of materials, you can print with any type of material. So flexible materials are also completely fine with it. So you can just mix and match as you need, and you can go 4 colors or 8 colors. On the Core 1L, there's space for even 2 more, so that you can fit up to 10 inside it. So it's quite groundbreaking in terms of just how fast it's swapping, and the price itself is also quite efficient for that change. So we're just curious to see what the people will come up with. I've been trying to quiz people just how are they going to use the 8 nozzles, how are they going to combine that to the fullest effect, because I'm straining with ideas here.
This is it, and I haven't got any, but I know I'll find them. Like, and the good thing is, as I think this is going to be the next year is going to be very much about color. Like, we've had color for a while, we've had AMSs and MMUs and various things, but now it feels like, okay, we're ready now, because I think that waste, and it's a psychological thing. Like, I know we're still going to have a bit of a purge tower, but it's small.
Just want to clarify now, not a purge, but a prime tower.
Prime tower,
yeah,
okay.
Because as we're not purging the material, it's just priming the nozzle pressure.
Very important and clear distinction. I appreciate it.
If you do take a look at it, it's actually quite a bit of a design problem at this point.
Oh.
Because what happens now is the nozzle itself has super small thermal mass to it. So the moment it undocks, it's cooling down very rapidly. So there's practically no ooze that is happening.
Right.
So as it cools down, so that you're still going to lose a tiny bit of nozzle pressure, which does have to get corrected. But it's such a small amount that when it's printing, like we have this tiny little block, but that's for 8 colors. That is the stress test of the block. And if you're going to scale that to the maximum of the Z height, that's not even going to be a stable structure.
Right.
So we are working on ways to even optimize that. And a lot of the speeds that we're getting as well now are most likely going to be faster. We're expecting to have the tool changes, I would almost say, at least 20, probably closer to 50% faster than what they are happening right now.
Wow, that's incredible.
So it's a lot of optimization still is coming.
Yeah.
It's still like a product that is in the works. But at this point, we're at the stage of we're under-promising and everything is pointing very heavily towards over-delivering.
And this is the thing, like people have made noise, and this is why I wanted you at your weakest. Some people have made noise, perhaps even already on my live stream yesterday by accident. Like when we talk about the Core 1L and people keep saying 10, like, are we testing? Can we push it for more? Do we think that's maybe possible?
More than 10 would be a stretch. There's physically, because the Core 1L, even though it has so much larger a build volume, it is only like a little bit smaller in terms of the printer dimensions. So we could only squeeze in 2 more nozzles based on the current system.
So you, even though the Core 1L is bigger, you still made it too small.
We still made it too small. We should have made a bigger printer.
So speaking of which, and this is purely so I can put it on the thumbnail and get clicks, when are we getting a Core 1 XL?
Often requested, often asked, but it comes with a lot of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
With the style of frame that we're using, when we scale it even more than the L version, then it starts to get some structural weakness to it.
Yeah.
So we, as awesome it would be just to keep scaling it and stretching it, these metal panels, these metal sheets, this exoskeleton design would start to cause some difficulties expanding it further.
See, this is something like I don't appreciate, and people have even complained at me on my videos for like, you don't understand it, and I'm like, no, you're right, I don't understand it. I want to pay you to understand it and just solve the problem. So, but it is interesting to just understand that these things are going into consideration, and like, okay, when we get that, because we've also got to think like just supporting the gantry and stuff like that, then it adds to a lot of stuff. And one thing I think we know about Prusa is you guys want to get things right, and it might not be straight out the gate perfect, but you're always striving for that and you push for better and better.
We do want to keep supporting all of the products. For example, this week as well, one of the new hype items as well is the Core 1 Plus.
Yeah.
Because we had the Core 1L launched, and there were a lot of new features such as the automatic ventilation opening and closing. So these new features that it has on the Core 1L, we didn't want the Core 1 owners to feel left out.
Yeah.
So we created this Core 1 Plus variation just so that we can make sure everyone's up to date, everyone can like synchronize the printers. And the best thing about this is that even though it's a cheap kit that you can buy on the website for just 10 euros to just upgrade the printer, you can even just 3D print all of the parts yourself. You don't even have to spend the cent with us. And that way you just update the firmware, get it up to date, and everything will work as you've got the latest version then.
And I think this is why definitely, like, you as a brand get loyal customers and have gotten and have kept loyal customers over time. And when you look at, like, I joke about Die Hard Prusa. In fact, I'm not wearing my disguise, 1 second. So we've seen it on the video, but Die Hard Prusa Prusa fans are very much like, you know, wearing everything. Here we go. So you've got your typical die-hard Prusa fans, and they are die-hard fans for a reason. It's very easy. Like even me, I want the easy printer. I want the click and play printer. And I'll come back to that in a second. But as the second I touch my first Prusa machine, I got it. I understood where the love is. But at the same time, for me, you've talked about improvements. I'm going to take this off, I look stupid. There are a couple of elements that like I feel as an everyday consumer that you're missing. Like, and it's basic stuff. Like you've got an MMU, but you have no purge chute. You have no nozzle wiper. Like why, even though these are common across the entire industry, like, and convenient, like the nozzle wiper especially, when I had my XL, I got a lot of stringing. I'm like, a nozzle wiper, and people have even made their own mods, but I'm getting too passionate now. But the thing is, like, as you've seen, for example, on the Core 1, there's no enclosure for the filament. You've now made your own enclosure, which I think is brilliant because it doesn't just solve being enclosed while on the printer, it's a storage solution at the same time. Brilliant. And I like that you take your time, but then there are small elements, purge towers, nozzle wipers. Where are those? Is it almost it feels like an arrogance, like you don't want to because they have. What's going on?
So I would say the nozzle wiper is a very good example where there's some like can be some confusion like between our experience of the printer and the customer experience of the printer. Oftentimes, I would almost say we do stress test the printers and we use them a lot. Like as a company, one of our pride points is that we absolutely use printers. We're using it for production. We're using it as like the farm. We've got the biggest farm in the world. So we are heavily using the printers. If there's, we are the biggest customer of our own in a sense of that with the output that we're doing. So sometimes we're using the machines, but we're also using Prusa, for example, which is a good filament, and our conditions can sometimes be different from other customers. We have different humidity in the air. So sometimes our frustrations do not match the ones of the customers, and or the difficulties of the customers are not directly reflected into our own use case. So that can kind of sometimes throw the priorities a little bit askew. We've been heavily focusing in the last few months on improving our customer feedback, our customer interaction, and really trying to understand what they are feeling, what they are doing, how they're using it. So this feedback is now getting very zoomed in on, and we do want to keep it in mind, and we do want to try and iterate it. At the same time, we don't want to cause problems with it, limit space. So sometimes it seems like something is just suddenly released and added, but it's actually been worked on for many months, and adding some changes could complicate the entire design process on top of it. So for future variations, I'm not promising anything, but it's definitely something worth considering. For example, the AFS unit that we have here, the automatic farm system, these printers do have a purge chute. This is just the simplified automation. They do have a little bit of silicone block for nozzle wiping.
That thing's crazy. I've got some B-roll and I'll put it up on screen, but it's a wall of Prusa XLs. A wall with I love it. It's wild. It's just insanity. Speaking of which, can we jump onto that for a second?
Sure.
What sort of application? What is the business application for somebody to want? Can you give me a scenario where someone calls up, "Hi Prusa, we need a wall of Prusa XLs to do this." Who's using these?
So this is going to fall very much in line in terms of farm printing, where you kind of want to just have things automated and synchronized. So there's two kind of major use cases. First one would be you just want to print a lot of something. So this printer, you just send the tasks, you can just send the row, first available printer, it will start printing, it will prepare the file, and then it will deposit the sheet into a spot where you can just recover it later. So you will get a notification and you will know this print is finished, and you will just once a day come and collect the sheets, get off all the prints, and you're good to go. Other situation could be, for example, school or university or just some advanced workplace. So you will just send the print job, and then you'll know that once it's finished, then you'll just get a notification via synchronized to your Slack or whichever platform you want. and then you'll just know, like, okay, my print job is done on print, and it's available on slot B7. So you can just go and collect the sheet. So you never had to leave your desk. You can just sit there, you prepare the file, you send it, and then you just go pick up your print.
See, that's what I love. And I think even without that, one thing I found, especially with the Core series, is I felt that those design principles. And in my video, I kind of summarized my review of it. I summarized that it does feel like exactly what you just said. The Core and your printers are designed around you as a farm user and the home user, and obviously you've just said are going to get a lot more consideration, but the home user just kind of gets the benefit of being able to use that farm machine. But like the design principles in the Core is what kept me going back to the printer. So just that little thing, two little things. One is the light that tells you the status. So I can imagine a wall of these racks and racks and racks where I'm walking down going, green, 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 red needs my attention, amber needs my attention, blue is, something else. And then the other thing is through Prusa Connect, one thing that no other brand has, because they're all copying the same slicer, is when I send something in Prusa Connect, and then I'm like, right, okay, well that's my current print. I want my next print, so I queue up my next print. You queue them up, you queue them up, you queue them up. And then as soon as my print was done, I'm not printing plates on a Prusa, I'm printing projects. So I spread my things out going that plate, that plate, that plate. And then when I go to the printer and it's finished and I take the parts off, I click done, one button, and it starts the next one. I love that. That is so convenient for the home user. But then, go on, sorry.
Well, no, I just want to say that we're like absolutely expanding on that. We're currently working on farm mode. This would even take that to the next level for these large-scale users, not just someone with one printer, but let's say you have 5 printers at your home, 3 of them are loaded with PLA, 2 of them with PETG, and you would just send a single G-code file to you would send your command print via Connect, and that would just start on the next available printer, which has that filament loaded and is prepared for that type of print.
Wow,
so,
that's fantastic.
You don't even have to queue specifically for the printer. So just as they finish, because we don't always have the same print times, you have various print lengths. So you don't want to just kind of do the math and juggle the prints and times just to make it work out. So you can just automate that in the very near future, where it will just send it via the farm mode and it will just fall in line for the next one.
That's incredible. And that's about solutions rather than just machines, and you've got that in there, and that's what it just sounds so exciting to do that, because it's all about printing. Anybody who uses 3D printing as a business is about minimizing downtime, because I think time costs more than plastic. We've said this a few times, and that's absolutely incredible.
Absolute consideration when it comes to these things. So our machines are heavily focused. We want engineers to use them. We want like your skilled makers, and as you say, time is money. So we do want to make these as simple as possible to use. For example, the Core 1L printer, we've got the setup time from unboxing it to printing to just a few minutes. So we do want to have it as simple as plug and play as we can, and it is a large focus that we want to have, and it's also one of our design philosophies as a company. We really want people to print. If we have such a heavy focus on our support teams, if there's anything wrong, we really do want to just push it so that if there's an issue, we try to fix it. And we often push for
Sorry guys, we got cut off there because there was a massive announcement, so I forgot what we were talking about, and brain fried. Go on.
So we were just discussing the support. So we really do want to have this emphasis on just getting the things working. Our support is trained and skilled into understanding. It's almost impressive because we have nearly every movement style of system. We've got Delta printers, we've got bed slingers, we've got Core XY, we've got nearly every single style of system, multicolors, and these guys will be even able to help you with your MK2 printer going that far back. So they're all over the place in terms of skills. And if there is some issue, like especially small, we want to be able to help identify it and just kind of patch it. I often argue that most of the time, some small replacement part, if we can effectively identify it, is easier and faster to just swap the part than it is to even pack and like send the printer for repair. So that's something that we want to do. Like, we want you to print. We don't want you to be intimidated by the machine. And even if you're an unskilled user that has never used a 3D printer before, you don't even know where to start. We also have Prusa Academy courses now. So these Academy courses will take you from turning the printer on and just starting your first print just from the default G codes. They cover slight design concepts. They teach teach you how to use Slicer, they show you printables.
Yeah.
So everything you would need to just have that introductory phase into printing, it's available online, and we just want to help get that push into people just so that they can use the machines.
That's so true, and I've used your support myself, having had your machines, and you're not even, I mean, yeah, nobody's talking it down. You just go on, it's there 24/7, live chat, they solve problems within minutes for me that with any other brand would potentially take me hours, because I'm either emailing a support team, waiting for the next day because it's a different time zone, or I'm going on to my only real support is live users, and respectfully to the user community, there are a lot of people who confidently will say the wrong thing, but with the best interests at mind, whereas it's nice to talk to trained, qualified professionals who know what they're talking about. The final thing I just want to come on to and come back to, so we've talked about the power users. I think there's a bit of a split in the market at the moment where one brand are very much the ease of use. Prusa are the power user brand, the tinkerer brand, that sort of thing. But me, as just a general user, I want to champion Prusa more. And I think a lot of that comes down to the general user experience. So you've got those guides there, but I think there's one thing around the slicer. So your slicer has evolved from your slicer, and now we have Orca slicer that's very common. And I don't think it's unfair to say that has a lot of user friendliness and elements that the UI make things more approachable. Is that something Prusa's aware of and perhaps are considering and making changes around?
I'm not familiar with Orca Slicer. no, absolutely kidding. No, Orca Slicer, absolutely great tool. The fact that it's like they're pushing features, they're pushing accessibility, it is an amazing experience as well. So like this is also like from the backbone, also based on like a variation of Prusa Slicer going up from it. And we haven't had any major updates as of late. We did some slight UI changes, but the reason there hasn't been any big thing happening is because the big thing is coming now. We've got Slicer 3.0 coming up extremely soon, and that is heavily focused on UI changes. So there's very little I can say here, even in my exhausted state, but there will definitely be huge changes to the UI. We've been working with UI designers to try to like specifically make it as like targeted as we can for the interface, and there's going to be a big, huge focus on better compatibility. For example, we've got this INDX feature, we've got XL, and we want you to use different nozzle sizes, we want you to use different materials. So we want to smooth that process and simplify it. So different nozzle sizes on the same print are absolutely one of the big features that we're working on for the Slicer 3.0, just so that you can simplify that process and get these complex prints going.
So can you infer or when we would expect to hear more?
So Slicer 3.0 is a tricky subject. It's because these changes are so huge. There's likely going to be firstly a large internal alpha, then that's moving on towards an external alpha, and we'll have to see how it rolls out. So it's a huge amount of changes, hopefully not a huge amount of bugs. And the developers always have that saying of like, you take one, you've got 10 bugs, you take one down, you patch it, and now you've got 16 bugs.
Yes, perfect.
So let's hope that's not the case, but it's looking very optimistic for soon. There's a lot of moving things that are happening at the same time. We've got all of the hype about the open print tag as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of these things that just kind of need to click together. So even though this has been an amazing FormNext, there's been so much to show, so many different products, there is still more coming next year.
That's it. It's crazy. Like the day I was talking to Pooch, and I said, and he gave me, are you not entertained? Because as soon as the INDX came out with 8 tool heads, I was there like, what's next? What's next? And he's like, everybody wants to know what's next. I was like, yeah, that's old now. That's old. What's next?
There have been so many things we've been showing off here that it's. I'm worried that some of them are getting lost. We've got the silicone tool head for the XL printer. That 3D printing silicone is revolutionary with this FDM style printing, and like comparing the price points, it's groundbreaking. Like in terms of competitors, where it's like just a small fraction of the costs. We have an example showcase of a pick and place tool changer of an XL, where it's inserting screws automatically, and we'll be able to use magnets as well. So all these things are just like some of the things we're showing off. There's the Core 1 Plus, Just so many things going on. There's the high temp potens as well, 400 degrees Celsius on the Core 1s, Core 1Ls.
All right, fine, all right. So what's next? Lots, fine, you win.
That was just the last couple of weeks. And
yeah, exactly, yeah. So I think Pooch was definitely right. Are you not entertained? Unfortunately not. This is the internet. We want to know what's next. But this has been an incredible FormNext for you guys. I do feel you've certainly got more consumer interest right now than you've had before. The INDX has really got a lot more attention. The color is what I think people desire. More colors, easier, faster swapping, and you're not even done yet. Like, yeah, all right, you've got me as a Prusa. I'm certainly interested.
And I would also like to encourage anyone that is viewing this video. I would like to hear how you are using the nozzles. What is your plan? You just want to have 8 nozzles? You just want to print a bunch of colors, or you're going to mix and match your different nozzle sizes? I'm genuinely curious what are the use cases that people are planning here, and I want to see like what we can do like to help facilitate that. So if anyone is watching and they can give us that feedback, I would hugely appreciate it.
I appreciate you asking that, because that generates more comments, which improves the algorithm. This video gets more views, so thank you. I hope to see you in Prague soon at some point, as soon as I can get over there. Too many people are releasing printers that I have to review, but I cannot wait to tell people about the Core 1L and then get hands on INDX at some point. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it, Tommy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I guess buy a Prusa, links down below. If you don't want a Prusa, don't buy one, but I would. Thanks again, man.
Buy one.
I want to thank you for watching, with a huge thanks going out to our members who are on screen now. Please consider joining them to support the channel, get your name up in lights here, early access and more. Until next time, FoHammer out.